comedy about a touchy subject in the year 2020? You know what? I think that's exactly the kind of thing we need right now. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to yet another brand new movie review. Today, we're hopping back onto HBO Max to discuss their latest exclusive film, Unpregnant, written and directed by Rachel Lee Goldenberg. And this movie stars Haley Lu Richardson, Barbie Ferreira, and a gigantic cast of really colorful supporting performances. When pregnant teenager Veronica, played by Richardson, discovers that she cannot get an abortion in her home state of Missouri without her parents' permission, she convinces her former friend Bailey, played by Ferreira, to take a road trip with her to Albuquerque, New Mexico so she can get one there. Now, before I get any further into this review, I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and clicking on the video. I hope you guys enjoy your stay. As you guys know, I am so stoked to be on this medium discussing cinema and all things entertainment with you guys. And if you guys are new here, first and foremost, welcome. Secondly, if this sounds like something you'd like to discuss along with me, please consider hitting that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can for all of my latest content discussing all these fun topics. But let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? Just judging from the title of this film, it's tackling a pretty gigantic political issue: pro-choice versus pro-life. And I think this movie handles this issue and addresses it in actually a really beautiful way without really dancing around the issues both sides have. And keeping my own personal beliefs out of the equation for this review, all I'll say is I had a blast watching this movie. First and foremost, this filmmaking is just so wonderful. It's such a beautifully directed movie. It really feels like I'm on a road trip with these characters. I really also enjoyed a lot of the writing in this film. Similar to I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which I also reviewed on the channel, there's a lot of really random topics that come up, and also, of course, loads of belting Kelly Clarkson full out. But even when the movie veers off of the highway and makes a pit stop, Rachel Lee Goldenberg has a very beautiful way of crafting these scenes. I especially love all these shots down these elongated hallways, whether they be inside Veronica's high school or they're just in a simple little gas station. Having that imagery there really pushes the point home that this is a long journey ahead of these characters. Goldenberg has got such a sure hand behind the camera. I cannot wait to see any other films that have her name on it. Also, across the board, all these performances here are just downright awesome. Let's start by talking about this leading performance of Haley Lu Richardson, because she is truly the anchor of this film. Now, she's definitely going to be one of those up-and-coming names that a lot of people are going to have their eyes on as she ascends into these more prevalent roles especially. I loved her performance in The Edge of 17, and I feel like I loved her even more here. She kills it as Veronica. And that's mainly because I did not see Haley Lu Richardson. I saw Veronica, and I understood her struggle. Now, she's someone who's fitting in socially. She's got a scholarship to go to Brown. She's doing everything correctly in life. And it's also the fact that she's being so conscientious in practicing birth control. And it's one slip-up and one mistake by her idiotic boyfriend Kevin, that's what gets her into trouble, and it almost feels like she's the one being punished for it. It's a situation she got into that wasn't her fault, and yet it becomes a situation that's completely out of her control. How messed up is that? So of course it gets to the point where she has to go on this road trip to get somewhere she can actually make that choice for herself. I felt that struggle for her, and I really wanted to see her reach that destination so badly. Now, of course, no spoilers from me, but there is a gigantic tirade that she goes on near the top of the third act in this film. She was so magnificent towards the end of this movie especially, because that tirade really sums everything up. She was fantastic here, but perhaps my favorite character in this movie, that distinction I think belongs to Barbie Ferreira's Bailey. This character was just so cool, and Barbie Ferreira is so hilarious in this movie. She provides so much amazing commentary along the way, and I could buy the friendship that these two girls had, and I understood why there was so much distance between them, and the way they came together here, just unbelievable chemistry. I also thought Alex MacNicoll as Veronica's boyfriend Kevin was a very fun presence. Even though I hated this character and how creepily stupid he comes across with this situation, He sells that really, really well. I will admit, though, being a fan of this particular brand of soda, I was really, really happy to hear the writers put in a line for him asking for Mountain Dew at a restaurant. I like Mountain Dew. What can I say? But I can't wait to see what other roles he gets. He was so great here. One other thing I really loved about this movie is that along these characters' journey, it feels like every pit stop they make, there is a bevy of colorful characters just waiting for them there. Let's talk about Betty Who for a second as Kira Matthews. Man, she was cool. And Kira's basically a drag racer who Bailey meets, and she has some really nice moments with her too. And like I said, she just oozes charisma here. I dug her performance. Breckin freaking Meyer. My God. Wow. This is how old I feel watching this movie. I have not seen Breckin Meyer in a new movie since Garfield. Yeah, you guys remember this piece of trash right here? But I was so happy to see this guy again, and in a really strong movie nonetheless. And his performance that he gives off here is just so unsettling. Our leads encounter Breckin Meyer's character Mark along with his wife, played by Sugarland Beard, also really great with her moments. And, this couple may appear nice at first, but ouch. And that's honestly something I didn't really enjoy about this movie. It was trying to be a bunch of different things at once at times. As fun as it is to watch Breckin Meyer give off this really unsettling and humongous performance, it just feels out of place with everything else. And last but certainly not least, Giancarlo Esposito as Bob. Need I say anything more? As per usual from this guy, he was absolutely terrific in this film. This is such a fun performance with a surprising amount of comedy from him. You guys can probably conclude that I am so used to seeing this guy portray the villain like a Gus Fring, like a Moff Gideon. But my God, I'm convinced after watching this film that he can do absolutely no wrong. But discussing all these supporting characters with you guys actually brings me to my main issue with the film. This movie is throwing a lot of really, really brilliant side characters at us, like a Bob, like a Mark, like a Kira. And I feel like sometimes the movie has a lot of trouble really balancing all these side characters with the main narrative. I wanted a little bit more out of all these characters. It's like right when I was starting to get into their story arc and their subplots, just as I was starting to get into them, it just stops. And I was like, oh, that's it? I think the biggest culprit of them all is the subplot with Kira, because she has a lot of really sweet moments with the Bailey character in particular. And then just a mild spoiler, after she shares some of those sweet moments with Bailey, Kira vanishes from this movie. That was something that bugged me throughout the rest of the runtime. I was like, I kind of want more Kira right now. But besides that little nitpick, man, this movie was very surprising. Coming-of-age movies are actually one of my personal favorite genres, and this is one that certainly does not disappoint. Even though I wanted a lot more of these side characters, Unpregnant tackles a very tough political issue to discuss, and I think it handles it with a surprising amount of class. To go along with stellar direction and freaking outstanding performances, I'm gonna give Unpregnant a B+. I think regardless of your views on this subject matter, I totally understand that there are people who won't be able to stand this movie, and I won't be able to change your mind. I completely understand. But keeping the political messiness out of the equation, just examining this movie as it is, as just a movie, this is just so well made and so well crafted. The filmmaking prowess is definitely very strong, and the leading performances especially, all the performances across the board are great. Very, very fun movie. It's on HBO Max right now. If you haven't seen it yet, I definitely think it's worth a watch. But have you guys seen Unpregnant yet? If you have, what do you guys think of it? Are you guys looking forward to seeing it? I would love to hear all of your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I'd love to discuss them with you guys further. And just a reminder, if you guys would like to continue discussing the cinema and all things entertainment with me, please once again consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can so you don't miss any of my future updates and we can continue discussing these fun topics together. And also, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a big fat thumbs up on it on your way out. That would mean the world as well. Guys, you all are awesome. Thank you so much again for your support of the channel up to this point. It has meant the world to me so far. Look forward to more fun content coming to the channel very, very soon. And with all that being said, back talk, commence.